Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Steph and this is Ordinary Plant Girl. If you are new here, thank you for clicking on this video, and if you are returning, thank you so much for spending more of your time with me. I sound nasally today. I hung out with my daughter for part of the day and she has cats and I'm allergic to cats, but I will suffer for them. So I got a little bit of the sniffles going on. I may sneeze here or there, but it's all about the allergies. So today what I wanted to do was I wanted to go through a little bit of an Anthurium update. It's been a little while since I kind of went over the Anthuriums with you guys, and they are waking up. So many of my Anthuriums right now are throwing out leaves that I just wanted to show you the progress that they are going through right now. So if that is something you're interested in, please stick around. Okay, now, sorry for this light. I'm gonna not turn it off, but, you know, not have it glaring at you at the same time. So, for those of you that have been around here for a while, you would know that this is kind of my Anthurium corner over here. And then over on my windowsill, I also have my Anthuriums in an east-facing window. Those are the only two places in this space that I'm in that I actually grow my Anthuriums. So I just wanted to kind of take you through a few of them today and show you kind of where they're at. So right here on top of my mini fridge, I have a Forgetii White Stripes, which is not doing anything at the moment. And then right here I have this is my Crystal Mag. Now, well, one of my Crystal Mags, I have two. I've had this plant for a long time. It took a little while to actually like establish itself and start growing, but this is the newest leaf here. It's still trying to harden off, so that is something that is exciting for me. It's a little wobbly. This one has got some healthy root growth going on. It's not doing a lot right now because I did recently transplant it into this pot, and it was after that it threw out this leaf. I think it was in a 3-inch pot before that, but now it seems to be pretty happy and doing rather well. And this is the biggest leaf on it so far, so we'll see what happens when it finishes hardening off, but I really don't think it's going to be much bigger than that. Beside it, in my Supernatural mug, I have got my Mag Ace of Spades. So this is another one that I have two of. And this is the newest leaf right here that has popped out. It took a really long time for this one to give me a new leaf too. I don't know why it took so long, honestly, but it took its own sweet time. And that happened after I moved it. It was on a lower shelf. Whoops. And I moved it up about a foot, and then it threw out another leaf. So I'm assuming that it was a light thing. But even now, just looking at it, it doesn't have any root growth that I can currently see, but it gave me a new leaf, so I'm not going to question any of the root growth if it is still actively growing. And I really do like these leaves. I don't know what it is about them. If it's just because they're, I don't know, they're darker than a lot of my other ones. And, you know, we'll see what this one does, what kind of veining it has on it. I'm still not expecting too much. I mean, if I had a plant on my wish list that I would want to get this year, it would be the Ace of Spades. That's the next one I'm looking for, and I hope I can find one. I mean, I'm gonna try, but you know, it's on my list this year. Now, the next one, I've had a few, I don't know what it is about this plant, but this one here, I just want to take it out of the cash po. So this one here is my Anthurium No ID. So it could be crossed with a Chamberlainii. I'm not sure. I do have a friend that thinks it might be crossed with a Veitchii, but I'm not feeling that. This was the newest leaf that came out, and I have no idea what happened here. It makes me think that there's a root issue, but I can see one relatively new root here, and I'm not seeing any other issues. So I don't know. I would think that it was a root issue. Looking at this, it's definitely not a watering issue that I know of. I don't know what this one wants, but I would love to figure it out. So this one's a mystery right now. Hopefully I can figure out at some point what's going on, because I may not know what it's crossed with, but that doesn't mean I love it any less. This next one I have here is a plant that I love, but she's really weird. So this one here is my crystallinum, just a regular old crystallinum. You can see she's a little leggy. She's I don't know what's wrong with her. Now, here's the thing. This is the newest leaf that has popped out. It's doing some weird kind of pucker thing. Like, I have no idea what's happening there, but I haven't touched it. I'm just leaving it alone. It currently has another, I don't know if you can see it, it has another growth point right down here. And currently has another leaf popping out down here. Now this one seems like it might be a little stuck and I don't want to mess with it, but this one does the weirdest things. I don't know why that is, but we've got really healthy root growth going on. So I'm happy about that. I don't think there's anything wrong with it except for the weird growth point thing. I was saying that it's doing this weird pucker thing. I have had a few issues with inconsistent watering, so that's definitely on me. But besides that, it's been a pretty easy plant. I mean, I have had it since September of 2022. But I do have, yeah, some pretty healthy root growth going on. It hasn't done anything extreme, I should say. I mean, some of the Anthuriums that I repot will just go crazy. But then, you know, there's this one here that doesn't, and I'm okay with it. It is still one of my favorite plants. I probably should pay a little bit more attention to how it's going with her, but I just kind of leave her be. Just let her do her thing. Okay, so now we're gonna move over to this top shelf here. And normally this is where I would keep a lot of my babies, my seedlings and stuff like that. And that's kind of still the case. So let's start with this one here, which needs to be watered. So this is my Hoffmanii crossed with a red crystallinum. And this is the newest leaf that just popped out of there. When I got it, it did have these two baby leaves here. So this one has already doubled, almost 2.5 times the size of the previous leaf. And it's just so chubby and round. It is just the cutest little thing. This one does need to be watered though. I can finally see some root growth in here, but I'm not going to up pot it or anything yet. I do have a Magnificum crossed with a Ralph-Linum Fort Sherman, and it does, I don't know if you'll be able to tell, it does have a tiny, tiny little leaf there that has just recently popped out. Fingers crossed that everything goes okay with that one. This I'm gonna have to water as well. These ones dry out so quickly. I think it's just because it's in a coco coir based medium, so it dries out really quickly. So I'm actually watering it frequently. Okay, next I have, this is my Magnificum crossed with a Nigrolaminum GG that has just given me a new leaf. Now this leaf just came out within the past, probably in January this one popped out, and now we're into March, and if I'm being super technical, it actually started to come out at the end of February. But so I've got this new leaf coming here, and it's looking okay so far. In some cases, and you'll see a couple of those examples where the leaf had come in, started to unfurl, and then just shriveled up and died off. So I'm hoping that this one's going to be okay. This one could probably use a little bit of water too. It does have roots that are starting to wrap their way around the bottom of the pot, but I don't think I need to up pot it or anything yet, even though this pot is like cracked in several places. But so far it is another one that I have that has got some pretty dark leaves on it for being pretty close to the light, and I mean, I'm okay with that. Actually, the darker the leaves, the better. Okay, now we're kind of moving into a few that I have in pawn. Now I don't have many. I think I only have these 3 Anthuriums in pawn. But let's see if we have anything going on here, so this is a Mag Pappy cross. No new leaves going on, anything like that. I didn't figure that it would. I mean, this was really, really tiny. Like this, I got this as a seed, like just a barely rooted seed. So this is the progress of that so far, just in pawn. And I do have another one that is in soil as well. And that has got nothing in the reservoir, so I should probably check that. This one, this is one of my 2 Vag Luxes that I have. And it'll be interesting to see the difference of this as well. So this one is actually a Crystal Mag crossed with a Forgetii Lux. Lauren at North Shore Tropicals calls this a batch, she calls it the Vag Lux. So it's kind of just a nickname that's been taken on by people that actually own this plant and the breeder of this plant. It's very, I noticed that the leaves are very round on this one, where when I show you the other one, the leaves are a bit longer. So I will have to, I'll do a side by side at some point before the end of the video, and I'll be able to show you them both together. But these ones are, I mean, I have to say that when I say they're amongst my favorites, I actually love all of my Anthuriums. I really do. It's weird. It's like I'm not craving to get more of them, but I cherish the ones that I do have. And at some point, just like others, I'm going to experiment with, you know, pollinating them and growing them from seed, just for the experience to see how that goes. But this one, I love the way it presents itself, just the way it sits. It's one of my favorites. I look at it all the time. It doesn't have anything going on right now, but that's because this leaf here is still, I think it's just hardened off now. So it didn't get much bigger, but there's definitely been an upsize in leaf growth. This one though, so this is my Magnificum. Now this is one of the first Anthuriums that I got. Still, like one of my OG favorites. I just love just the Magnificum. And this is one where the last leaf that came out actually did shrivel off and die, but it has now given me this new leaf. And I'm so excited about it. This is one of the Anthuriums that I'm always the most excited to see grow. Like, look at this beefy petiole. I'm excited to see how big this one gets, and just looking at the color of it and everything. I don't know if you can actually like get the what's the word I'm looking for? It just the presentation of it on camera is just, in person it's amazing. On camera I don't know if it'll pick it up, but it's just got that like copper red blush to it. It's awesome. So this one was actually kind of a strange one. So this is my Crystallinum crossed with a Forgetii. Again, I have 2 of these. And it's funny because this one just, I don't know why it sits like this. It sits underneath the grow light, but it's like it's trying to get away from it in a way. So I've actually, it used to be up here on this top shelf, and I have currently lowered it. And once I lowered it, it popped out this leaf here. Just a newbie. I don't know, are we not focusing? There we go. So just a newbie that's coming out there. It's, what's the word I'm looking for? Words are hard today. It's really, I guess I would actually have to say that as much as I love the Forgetii and as much as I love the Crystallinum, this is not one of my favorites. Pretty much overlook it all the time, and I don't know if it's because a lot of them just look so similar. I mean, I'm invested in it. That's not going to change, but yeah, it's not one I pay a lot of attention to. It does have quite the happy root growth going, but yeah, this is the Crystallinum Forgetii. Now we're hitting up 3 of my absolute favorites over here. I don't know which one to start with. We'll start with this one, I think. Actually, hang on, let me check. Okay, no, I was wrong. Never mind. This one, this is my Bessier AF. This is another one that went and gave me a new leaf, and then it kind of shriveled up and died off. And currently, I'm not actually seeing any new growth, but I am seeing root growth. And that always makes me happy. And it hasn't actually been in this pot for very long, so hopefully it'll give me a new leaf. I thought I saw a new leaf there and I didn't. One that we recently just talked about and I up potted. This is my Forgetii crossed with a Pinkley. This hasn't been in here very long, so I know that I'm not going to see any roots in there, but my objective was to, it's still a little wobbly because it hasn't been very long. My objective is to have the auxiliary roots start to stabilize this plant and root in, but I actually have cataphyll growth going on right here, and a new leaf is on the way. Fingers crossed. And it's also started turning itself. I don't know. It did absolutely nothing, and then I went and up potted it, and now it just keeps moving all over the place. So it's actually very interesting to watch. Now this one, my wish list plant of 2023, my King of Spades. My King of Spades. So here, back here, it did attempt to give me a new leaf, shriveled up and died off. But then, about 6 weeks later, has now shot out with this leaf. And I'm so excited for it. I'm so excited for it. And that again also happened after I up potted the plant. I am so excited to see my first actual King of Spades leaf. As long as nothing happens to you while we're doing this, there will be pictures everywhere of this plant. So here is the last leaf that this leaf, these 2 leaves actually came on it when I got it. So this one here was the last leaf, and this was the previous one. I'm hoping, based on the beefy petiole again that we have going on here, that it's going to be a decent sized leaf. So this one here is my other Vag Lux. As you can see, this was the last leaf that came out, and it's rather elongated. Now this one also, well, not also because the other one doesn't have one, but this one does have a new leaf that is coming out right here. And the last 2 leaves have just been longer. And it sits in an east-facing window. I'm wondering if that actually has anything to do with it, because if I grab the other one that's in pawn, and I didn't get them at the same time, but I couldn't tell you which one I got first. Look at how round those leaves are compared to how long that is and how dark this one is. Like, this one is so much darker than this one. Okay, so again, this is my Vag Lux number 2. Oh, look at that. Okay, I think we're coming up on the last 3. Yeah, the last 3 that I have that are pushing out new leaves. And one of them is This is my other crystal forgetii, and if I was going to pay attention to either one of them, it would be this one. And why? Because this crystal forgetii gave me a fused sinus on this leaf. And I have another leaf. I have another leaf right here that is coming in. And I can't wait to see if that sinus is fused too. You have a little bit of damage on it. This one is also, where is it? This one is also darker. So I almost feel like it's safe to say that the ones that I have in the east facing window are trending to be of darker foliage than the ones I have under an 11-watt grow light. That's actually pretty cool. But yeah, see how dark that is? And that's what I like. This is the previous leaf too as well, and look how dark that is. Here is the crystallinum crossed with a forgetii. Of the two, I would say that this one's my favorite. I just don't know. I don't know what it is with that one. Maybe it's because it looks so much more like a crystallinum to me. And I have a crystallinum. Maybe it'll give me a fused sinus at some point too. So these ones actually came out of the same seed batch, and this one I can probably pot soon, if you can see all the roots that are hanging out in the bottom there. But not yet, because there's a leaf coming. Now, that brings me to my forgetii. So this is my Anthurium forgetii. This one I had leaf troubles with too. So the first leaf that it put out in my care died. And it took a really long time for this leaf here to now emerge and start to unfurl. Like, it took a painfully long time for this. I don't know if forgetiis are typically slow growers, but for me, slow as molasses. That and the Bessie AF, like, just took forever. I love the OG plants. So my crystallinum, my magnificum, my forgetii, it's almost like they're prized to me. I've got my Clarinervium over there, which weirdly does not want to upsize, and I'll show you that one. The leaves just don't want to get bigger. Yeah, the originals here are just, oh, my King of Spades. Oh, I love that one so much. My Anthurium forgetii. I'm just gonna grab my Clarinervium over here, and I'll show you the newest leaves. It's just not doing anything. So here is my Anthurium Clarinervium. There are two of them in here. I did plant my Clarinerviums together, and if I'm honest, I'm actually thinking about planting any of the ones that I have two of. I'm actually thinking about potting them up together. I do like full looking plants, and it will give up some space that I feel like I need. But this is the last Clarinervium leaf I had, and this one could have been stunted. This is the newest leaf on the second plant in here, and unfortunately, because it's been rubbing up against this leaf, it is turned out really quirky and wonky. So it hasn't hardened off yet. I don't think it's finished expanding either, but I feel like my Clarinervium leaves do not want to get any bigger than that. And I'm kind of okay with it. Like, I think they're cute. Like, I do. Look at that tiny little heart-shaped leaf. Like, but this is one that I'm just watching to see what happens. I did put it in this pot not that long ago, so I'm actually, oh, see, one root finally made its way through. I'm just gonna have to hold it because I have no place to put it right this second while I'm standing here. Those are my Anthurium updates for March of 2024. I am so excited for spring. There are so many of them giving me new leaves right now. That is my Anthurium update. I hope you're all safe and well. Please like and consider subscribing to my channel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.